Hello everyone, and welcome to my EastEnders Media News channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for EastEnders hint at some crazy storylines for our favorite characters. To begin with, a major episode is scheduled in which Patrick Truman learns at last about Yolanda's attack and trauma involving that predator, Pastor Clayton. Next is George Knight, who is still in shock after the passing of his mother Gloria. However, as the physicians give him some unsettling news, everything becomes murky. What might that be? View the spoilers for the shows that will air on Monday, May 6th through Thursday, May 9th, 2024. Spoilers for EastEnders. Patrick Truman learns of Yolanda's struggle. As Monday arrives, Patrick is quite nervous about Yolanda, according to EastEnders spoilers. Things get worse to add gasoline to the fire, even though the woman has been acting more aloof and emotional lately. Yolanda missed a doctor's visit, Sonia discloses, and Patrick wasn't prepared for the information. Furthermore, Yolanda abandoning the food van launch, a project that is dear to her heart, raises even more concerns. Patrick then gets in touch with the worst person imaginable, Pastor Clayton. Patrick begins to have doubts about Yolanda's health because of the evil pastor. Yolanda is appalled when Patrick later raises these concerns with her and says he spoke with Pastor Clayton about her. The following day, Yolanda asks Elaine to deliver the news to Patrick because she can't bring herself to do it herself. After learning this, Patrick is utterly devastated. Moreover, spoilers for EastEnders hint that Yolanda isolates herself in the bathroom when he tries to talk to her. As a result, Yolanda steps in to stop Patrick before he can storm out to confront Pastor Clayton, infuriated. The poor soul speaks up about her ordeal when they get home, and the pair struggles to deal with the nightmare she went through. Finally, Yolanda steels herself to inform the church about Pastor Clayton's deplorable actions. Will Yolanda receive justice at last when other victims were not given what was rightfully theirs? George gets a startling diagnosis, and Cindy gets in trouble for withholding information. In the meantime, spoilers for EastEnders indicate that George gets some upsetting news regarding his late mother Gloria. Eddie didn't even tell George that he was holding Gloria's funeral. To arrange his next bout, George gets in touch with Rufus, the man who arranges the battles behind closed doors. Aside from that, Gina and Anna took the initiative to organize a family memorial service for Gloria. The ladies even go so far as to invite their half-bro to the service in an attempt to patch things up. But when George shows up to the memorial, all battered, and Junior doesn't show up, the lovely attempt falls flat. But when George becomes lightheaded and almost passes out, the situation gets even worse. When they see George struggling, Cindy and Phil advise him to get medical attention. The physicians diagnose him with a severe brain ailment as a result of all those head injuries. George needs to be very careful now because one more knock and it could be game over. Does he intend to listen? Spoilers for EastEnders claim that George's diagnosis has left his loved ones completely devastated. But when they find out George is still getting into risky confrontations, their rage flares. The shocking thing is that Cindy was aware of this the entire time. Later on, while George is getting up for another fight with Rufus, Cindy runs into him. For lying to them, Gina and Anna give Cindy the cold shoulder and won't talk to her. Nevertheless, they ultimately decide to go out to dinner later that week. George isn't having it when Cindy pledges to keep him out of the ring as they converse. He dismisses Cindy's recommendation to go to treatment during a furious fight between the ex-couples. Later on, though, George consents to try out online counseling while covertly preparing for another altercation. Cindy issues an ultimatum as soon as she finds out. Will George follow through on it? Billy retains his weapons despite divorced father Amy grows and Stevie envious of Denzel's new friend. Spoilers for EastEnders elsewhere indicate that Billy is determined to keep his estranged father, Stevie, apart from his family. He even brushes off Honey's attempts to reunite the elderly guy with the Mitchell family. But when Stevie sees Will, Janet, and Lexi, his grandchildren, at the cafe, he is excited to spend time with them. Conversely, Billy loses it when he finds out about the unplanned family get-together. He quickly runs to Queen Vic to warn Stevie to stay away, but Honey, his fiancée, lashes out at him. Billy maintains his position throughout the week, even when Will slips away to visit his grandfather. The father and son have disagreements because he worries that Will become like his violent father. Later, Billy is advised to talk to Stevie by Phil, who steps in to quell the turmoil. Reluctantly, Billy asks Stevie what he wants when they sit down. Stevie admits he's just an old lonely man who misses his family. Spoilers for EastEnders reveal that Honey and the kids will be shocked to discover Stevie hanging out with Billy. Can Stevie be trusted, and has he managed to win Billy over with charm? Denzel Danes is unwaveringly committed to his workout regimen in the interim. He still has an obsession with being physically healthy and attractive. He schedules a workout with Ebony, a young influencer woman. Amy Mitchell, his unsatisfied girlfriend, is surprisingly upset about him hanging together with another woman. So, the crucial query is, will Amy permanently leave Denzel because of his fixation with his body? EastEnders spoilers hint that George Knight is in for a difficult time after receiving some heartbreaking news. As if the turmoil surrounding his father's passing wasn't enough, the pub owner has recently experienced a great deal of grief following Gloria's passing. The impoverished man had previously discovered that he had been adopted through a baby farming scam. But when George found out that Eddie had killed his biological father, it dealt him the death blow to his heart. But he continues getting hit with more turmoil. To get the lowdown, keep reading. Spoilers for EastEnders. Things take a dark turn for George. Spoilers for EastEnders reveal that George Knight has been carrying a heavy weight from all of the suffering. Gloria was fully aware of Eddie's conviction for George's real father's death earlier this month. The horrific truth strained his bond with his adoptive mother even more. Gloria, on the other hand, was with George when she passed away from a heart attack because she could take no more. But after Gina and Anna drop the bombshell, it looks like George is going to experience more anguish in the moments that follow. The girls divulged that Rufus conducted Gloria's burial without notifying the Knights beforehand. Later on, George starts to get angry and ends up threatening to attack Rufus. His girls are organizing a tribute at the Vic in the meanwhile.